Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. All right, first things first, I'm going to point out, we're going to keep this one a short one, but I'm going to point out, overwhelmingly, people are bearish. Right now, you're at extreme fear. You go a little further down, which we could very well dip a little further down tomorrow and then form like a hammer candlestick, a reversal candlestick or something, which I think would be another opportunity to scale in long. I think it would be an opportunity. I think we are getting a buying opportunity at the current point in time, just like this March, guys. That was a great buying opportunity. QQ went an absolute rip after that this whole entire time. All right, and then you come over here, October. That was an absolute amazing buying opportunity, and you just went straight up and then got another dip and then went straight up. We can look what happened on the charts. Do you see what I'm talking about? This is back in December. All right, but back in October, did that. You got a pullback, boom, got a pullback. You just went straight up after this, all right? So, you know, guys, I wouldn't be getting super bearish. You can very much just do what we're going to talk about in this video and look for these golden pocket retracements. Let's just actually put that right there. We're going to put that right there and look at where you stalled out right here. It was right at the 0.786 fib, which was at 381. I was saying if you get a close over 381, we're calling it. You're very likely coming up here to 387-ish, which means you're probably going to test the psych number at 390, and you could just be testing back up here to all-time highs. I didn't know if that was going to happen, but if you did get a close, we're going to very much change our tone here on the channel. But as you see, we stalled out right here. This was our line in the sand right here in between 451 on SPY, 451.55 right over here, and that golden pocket level, which just to show you how powerful the golden pocket is, let's put it on SPY as well. You have it stalling out right before the 0.786 fib, and you could not close above that level. That is exactly where sellers stepped in and had a $28 move down here on SPY, which is not the best look. Now, I know it looks ugly, guys. You could call this thing a weak market. You can. I believe you. But do you want to be, shorting? All right. You want to be shorting right when it looks extremely weak? I'm sure it looked extremely weak over here in March. I'm sure it looked extremely weak over here in the December into January pullback, and then it just based and skyrocketed. I'm sure it looked extremely weak at the October low. I'm sure it looked extremely weak over here in June 2022. I'm sure it looked extremely weak right before that in May 2022. The golden pocket is where, like, even if you're a bear, guys, you're looking for a move up. All right, you're looking for a retracement. This move down is not sustainable. But I will point out the factors in this video that are bearish, which is you have heavy volume on the sell-off. So, volume is supporting this move down. You have actual people selling, all right? So they probably are willing to sell a little more. But what happens if you have a gap up that forces markets up the next morning with a short squeeze? I know everyone might be talking about a short squeeze, but I see more people talking about bear stuff. All right. I don't think you should be bearish. I'm going to be completely honest here. All right. Fear and greed index. It's already at 27. It has no reason not to go a little further down, but I'm going to point out you're going to be at extreme fear. Like, I am looking for like either a gap up tomorrow, or you stay where you are right now and you're going to flush under yesterday's low, go a little bit lower, probably fill this gap, and it's going to be a hammer candlestick that forms by the end of the day. With my odds, that is what I give it. Those are the two scenarios I give it, all right? You open here, all right? You're probably going to flush under these lows and come visit 423. You open slightly higher. Let's give it from right here, all right? You open 0.5% above it. You have a $2 gap up. I say it starts a short squeeze and you start coming up here. And what I'm looking for personally is going to be the retracement to 438.43, which now let's put on our new golden pocket that we should be looking for. It's going to be right here at 448 to 443. So which actually aligns perfectly with resistance right here at 442.80, just about. All right, it's actually the low of this candlestick, which is 442.75. We could change that right here. That should be a level we should have on our chart moving forward in case we do enter a short squeeze, which I do think is extremely likely that we enter a short squeeze. But I do want to adjust my chart here. We could take off some stuff. We could take off the golden pocket, but I'm just pointing out, guys, just like over here when you got very far, which just to show you guys how far we've gone, you went $27 over here. You went $28.50 over here. All right. That is, you know, that is a big fall you're having. Guess what? At the bottom, let's just point out some similarities we're having. You had a waterfall these last few days, and then you gap down. That's the third scenario. Or you gap down, it's going to be over here. And then you have straight up buyers. You have a short squeeze the whole day, and maybe you have a big day, and maybe you get back up here. All right, which like 430. You know, if you get here, that's going to be a 2% move. So we're going to have to see if you do that. I think it would be something similar to this day right here when you had a miss on CPI, you gap down, have the market panic because everyone thought it was going to crash, and then boom, you skyrocketed. All right, guys. But like, even if we move lower after this recovery here, it's probably going to have a decent move. Do you see that, guys? That was a 2-day move up $20. All right, guys. That's what happened in the bear market when your RSI got to where it is. All right. Yes, it went lower later, but it had a $20 move. I'm not saying we have a $20 move. The VIX back over here in October was all the way at where was it? Oh, over here. It would be up. I was looking at the wrong RSI, but well, the wrong side of the RSI. But yeah, it was all the way up here. So market is not going to be having these massive moves. Just so in case you guys didn't know, all right, high VIX, all right, just means you're gonna have bigger moves on SPY and QQQ. Well, SPY specifically, all right, which is SPX actually to be specific. As you can see right here, volatility S&P 500 index. Why is S&P 500 in the name? Because VIX is directly correlated to S&P 500. The option chain specifically. If puts are bought, that is when VIX goes up. If calls are bought, calls are sold, that is when VIX goes up. If puts are sold, that is when VIX goes down. If calls are bought, that is when VIX goes down. So puts are clearly being bought right now, and you can see in the relative strength index, the relative strength index. Let's see if it says it for you guys. Does not say it for you guys. Relative strength index, guys, the RSI, you're all the way up here, and all the past times this has happened, except when you're crashing, you bottom here on the indexes, and then you have a pretty good move. So I wouldn't be getting short into this. I'm just pointing this out. I think between here, once you got to 430, I think that's where you would have been locking in profits. And then if you want to short for a move, like maybe you have runners, then you would have caught it. You could have scaled in after the break of some supports here or something, and then you could have been shorting. But I'm just going to point out, now you're getting to a point where this is where you have your major bounces here on all of your indexes. IWM's RSI is down bad. DIA is down bad. SPY is down bad. QQ is down bad. They're all almost 30 or underneath 30, or DIA is just right at 30. And the VIX, guys, this is where you top. If you go above our red line here on 65 here on the VIX's RSI, that is when you have, like, 2 to 3 days above this line. Unless you're in full on panic mode. Like up here, you guys were probably up for like a week or something like that, week, 2 weeks. But unless you're in full on panic, this was like your bear market, guys. All right. You're not going to stay up above there. You're just not gonna. All right. You can see right here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're not going to call that, but 10 occurrences. 10. Right here. 11. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and then you have your crash. So, like, guys, 17 out of 18 of those, or did I include that? All right. So I think we call it 16 out of 18, where, you started bottoming in the indexes days, you know, after that or right there. So we could be bottoming or we could be bottoming tomorrow. That's what I want you to get out of this video. That is my current opinion, and that is what I'm going to share with you guys in my video, my TA and my opinion behind that TA. And what I think the psychology of this chart is full on panic. Fear and greed index hasn't been down to extreme fear in so long, guys. But I'm serious. This is not when you want to be getting bearish, all right? You got to this level back March 10th. Let's look at where you were at in March 10th, all right? Right over here. No, that was back in May. Oh, we're talking about the big boy. Guys, that was literally the next day at bottom. This is what I'm talking. You put an inverted hammer candlestick on a gap down. That I think could be considered a reversal candlestick. And then you had a fat, nasty gap up the next day, and boom. Came down. You had an ugly double bottom with this is your neckline. You broke that. Let's just put a line down here. Let's do some past TA. All right. Do you guys see what I see? You guys see that? This is so sexy looking, all right? You break up from the double bottom, came back. You actually did another double bottom right here. And you broke above that. Let's just put another line on there. Does it line up with anything? No, it doesn't. All right. Regardless, guys, it's a clean setup. And I think this is about to probably start. Something like that. March 10th was right here. Next day, bottom. So we very well could be bottoming so soon. That's what I want you to get out of this video. Do not make the mistake of staying super bearish down here, being heavily bearish and not taking profit into that. You can stay bearish, but I would have runners and not like the full position. But yeah, no financial advice, you know. But yeah, with that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. Peace.